All glory, all praises, all honor to Yahweh and His Son, Yahweh Shah, for the reading and the understanding of His word today. This is the Shema with your go Shi'yah, and this is my brother, Elder Gabar. Today, we have a wonderful, wonderful class. I want to give homage not only to the people keeping the commandments, but I always want to exhort my brothers who are coming and they're trying to gather with their people. And our brothers, we just had a day assignment. Our brothers came and it was like good conversations. Brothers need to gather because brothers, I realize that we need each other. Everybody's going through stuff. Life is lifing. And I just realized we all just kind of need each other. And which brings me to this class today. The title of today's class is called Medicine for the Sick. Medicine for the Sick. We got to keep trying to do this walk. This is not easy. This is life is going to life you. Things are going to happen. This walk is not really easy at all. A lot of people have issues, but that's what we're here for. That's what us gathering together, brotherhood. That's what it's for. The last class I did was actually pretty cool. It was called a reintroduction to brotherhood. Now this right here is kind of a offset to that, because we do need to realize that we are sick. We do need to realize that this is the way that we get healed, by coming to each other. And we're going to look at these words in the scripture and look at what Yahweh Shah Mashiach, our king, our leader, said about these matters. So we're just going to keep hammering this home. We're just going to keep talking this thing. You got anything to add to that, King?
No.
We're going to, first scripture is going to be Luke chapter 5 and verse 30. Book of Luke chapter 5 and verse 30.
This is the book of Luke chapter 5, verse 30.
Bring it out, King.
But their scribes and Pharisees murmured against his disciples, saying, "Why do you eat and drink with publicans and sinners?"
He said, so this is Yahweh Shai sitting here, and they're asking why Yahweh Shai is sitting with publicans and sinners. Go ahead.
And Yahweh Shai, Jesus, answering, said unto them, "They that are whole need not a physician, but they that are sick."
Now you watch this. You know what? The scribes and Pharisees needed his healing too, but they were not in a position to accept his healing. And we have to be able to discern that. That's why he spoke to them the way he did. Read on.
Verse 32. I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
So the people that are keeping the law or doing what's righteous, that's great. But we're looking for the people he's looking for the people who needed his help. That's who Yahweh Shah was looking for. And guess what? This is what we're supposed to look for. We're supposed to look for the people who need our help. That's why I had to give a shout out to the brothers who came and talked, and we have good conversations. Everybody talk about their problems, their situations, and not nothing too bad or anything like that, but they talk and they get healing from the conversations that they had with their brothers, right? Watch this. Did you get all of that? Get all that?
I read to 32.
To 32. I want you to go to 1 Timothy 6 and 6 real quick. We're gonna show you how we're supposed to handle this thing. We're gonna show y'all how to handle this. And this is just like I said, the reintroduction to brotherhood was our Sabbath class, but this is the medicine we need to start trying to heal and start trying to help our brothers and sisters be comfortable with gathering. Because it is awkward, doing this thing is awkward because we're not used to loving on each other. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird if you're not used to it. Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain.
Did you hear that? Read that again.
Godliness with contentment is great gain.
The reason why I always talk like this, because godliness with being content is great gain. And we got to learn how to be okay with that. Brothers got to learn how to compliment each other. Hey man, I love you, dog. And a lot of times we couldn't say that without punching each other. But this is where we're trying to get to. We're trying to open up that, and I don't want you to be ooey gooey soft, but you do have to have some compassion for your brothers, right? Watch this. Read on.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 6. But godliness with contentment is great gain.
We know.
For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
We can't carry anything out of this world. We ain't bring nothing in. We can't carry nothing out. This is something that he's stripping you, showing you how vulnerable that you are. Read on.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Let's be content with having the things that the Father is providing for us. Sometimes we forget that the Father is blessing us because we don't appreciate it. We take it for granted that our rent is paid. We take it for granted that we're healthy. Oh, I'm bored. I ain't got nothing to do, man. I ain't got, if they say good day, what's so good about it? You're not sick. You're not starving. You're not on the corner. You know what I'm saying? You look good. You feel good. You don't look, you know what I'm saying? You don't look sick to me, but some people take that for granted. You see that? Read on.
Page falling.
Oh,
This is my newer Bible, and the pages are already falling out. I
Man.
read it so much. Okay.
They don't make them like they used to.
Where we at? Verse 8, verse
8.
7.
Verse
Start at verse 8.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 8. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
Read on.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
So people that are not satisfied with the situation that they have, they don't know how to appreciate it. So they'll fall into lust. They'll fall into the things that they want, wanting the money, wanting the bag, wanting more, wanting the covetousness over somebody else's. These are the things that keep us sick. These are the things that we trying to heal from. These are the things we trying to learn how to shun. If a person has a covetous spirit, that's not the end for them. You can beat a covetous spirit. You can recognize that I'm being covetous. You can recognize that I'm being greedy. You can recognize that I'm being unappreciative, and you can move from that, right? You can heal from that, right? Watch this. Keep read read all the way to 11.
Verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all evil.
Wait. The love of money is the what?
Is the root of all evil.
Go ahead.
Which, while some coveted after.
While some what?
Coveted after.
Some people just want the bag, want the money. It's not all about that. Sometimes it's more, what we're learning here is it's more important in how you treat people. It's more important in how you have compassion to your brothers and sisters, right? Rather than the bag or what a person has or what they drive or what they wear. We're trying to get back to loving each other. Read on.
They have erred from the faith.
So when you do these things, you err from the faith. We're trying to keep you in the faith, right? Go ahead.
And pierce themselves through with many sorrows.
So you inflict these sorrows on yourself. You make these things that you shouldn't even be tripping on. You make them important, and they're not important, right? Go ahead.
But thou, O man of God, flee these things.
Do what?
Flee these things.
We are supposed to flee those things. I know it sounds simple, but we're supposed to not go into that. We're supposed to flee that stuff. Go ahead.
And follow after righteousness.
Follow after what?
Righteousness.
Only way you can follow after righteousness is if you are surrounding yourself with people that are trying to be righteous with you, trying to do the same things. Don't fall into a crowd of people that are all coveting after something, right? Go ahead.
Godliness, faith, love, patience, meekness. You said the
godliness,
right?
Faith, and meek. That's all I wanted. So these are the things we have to look at. We have to covet after righteousness, godliness, faith, love, patience, and meekness. These are all the things and all of the components to heal us from being sick. These are all the things. If we practice these things that he just mentioned right here in chapter 6 and verse 11, if we practice that, we're going to heal ourselves. We're going to get healed. Right? You got anything, King? La. Oh, yeah. La.
You going Isaiah or Romans?
Go to Romans real quick. Because you know what? It's the people that are meant to hear this, they're going to get this. And what we're trying to do is wake those people up and stimulate your minds to where you can remember who you are in this faith, right? So I want you guys to understand the people that's meant to get it, they're going to get it because they're predestined to get this truth. You know, other people are not going to get it. And I say that a lot because I know it hurts when people that you love don't get what you want them to get. But watch this. Read that.
And this is Romans chapter 8, starting at verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh. God.
So all things work to good for them that love him. So you got to put yourself in the mode of being obedient. And that's what loving the Father is being obedient. That's what love is to the Father, right? 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of Yahweh, that we keep his commandments are not grievous. So it worked for the good for those that love him. Now watch this, read on.
To them who are the called according to his purpose.
Wait, they are what?
Called according to his purpose.
These are the people that's called according to the Father's purpose. Go ahead.
For whom he did foreknow.
He did what?
Foreknow.
He already knew you was going to take this calling. If you're not taking it and then you don't understand this truth or you don't want this truth, he already knew you wasn't going to take it. Some people are predestined for glory. Other people are predestined for destruction. Understand that. And you don't get to choose which is which. Did you read to 30? You already did you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son.
Wait, he also did what?
Predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son.
He predestined us to be conformed, constricted, made into the image of who? Of Mashiach Yahushua. So everybody who's trying to get to that, they're gonna put that old man away, and they're gonna start becoming more like Yahushua. The ones who are supposed to get it, right? The ones who are not, they're not gonna want it. I had almost an argument in the barbershop this past Sunday right before, and it was okay. It didn't end it cool. I ain't gonna bust the brother out of nothing, but he got upset because I asked him to get. I was cutting the hair and I was teaching him, and I asked him to get I said, "Man, get the Bible over there so I can show you this," because he asked me a question. And so he said, no, you get it. I said, no, just go get it. Well, no, you've been quoting scriptures. Why don't you go ahead and just quote? I said, man, I don't want to get it wrong. Just so we got into a semantical argument about something that simple. So I could tell he was heated about the situation. Mm-hmm. So I was cutting head, and the dude was in the chair. The older guy was in the chair, and the spirit hit me. I said, you know what? I said, say, brother, and I called his name. I said, I'm sorry. I said, can we start over? Killed it. I said, I'm sorry. Can we start over?
Killed it.
I just wanted to do so and so and so and so. And I said, do you forgive me, brother? And you could tell he was hot because he was like, all right, man. You know, but look, he was asking questions. I was trying to get an answer, but that's my brother. I don't know if the Father gonna wake him up or not. I don't know. But I was just trying to do my due diligence in being righteous and doing the right thing. Now, and I'm telling y'all this story because about maybe a year or two ago, I wouldn't even care about somebody getting upset.
Right.
But I used what you call, is it reverse psychology? Or is it just patience?
Patience.
Would it be patience?
Yeah.
I used patience with my brother because I really wanted him to get the understanding. And so that's the difference in growing. You know, when you grow, certain things that you wouldn't normally do, you do automatically out of kindness or patience. And that's an example of patience, right?
I would say patience and understanding, really, because you took the time to say, you know what? Let's regroup. Let's start all over. It takes a certain level of understanding to say, you know what? We can do this better. Just let's wipe all that off.
Yeah, just wipe it off.
Just wipe all that off.
Remember
when you used to wipe the whole board off and you start all over again? Wipe all that off.
Yep.
And let's just start. It takes a certain wisdom, it takes a certain humility and patience to do that kind of stuff.
That's the word. Humility.
Yes,
it took a certain humility to do that.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if it's I don't know what we have, the bravado. I'm talking about the bravado that black men have. I don't know what that is. And it may be pride that we have to kind of shed to be able to talk to each other more better. But that bravado in me, I could see it melting away. I could see it not being important because the more I teach, the more the word is just important. And me feeling whatever type of way or a person coming at me, it doesn't matter because it's only about the word. It's only about getting the understanding to the people, you see? And that's going to change you if you just stay with that course, right? Did we get 20? I want to show y'all a story in the scriptures in the book of Acts, chapter 28 and verse 23. And this is Paul here. And everybody, we know that Paul was a master teacher. He was eloquent, he was good, and he was cold, but not even Paul was able to get it across to everybody. Not even Paul was able to convince every person he ever ran across or he ever talked to about the resurrection of Mashiach and about the gift or the grace that Yahushua has for us. He wasn't able to get through to everybody. Not even Paul. So if he doesn't get through to everybody, then who am I? You know what I'm saying? I won't be able to, I don't think I can do more than Paul, right? But watch this. Read this story.
Book of Acts, chapter 28, and you said, sorry, 22?
23.
Verse 23. And when they had appointed him a day, there came many to him into his lodging, to whom he expounded and testified the kingdom of Yahweh, persuading them concerning Yahushua.
He's talking about Yahushua. He's trying to show them that Yahushua, he died, he resurrected, he came back. We don't got to sacrifice no more. You have to believe, and this is the faith that we have. He's just showing them really what was prophesied to happen, right? Go ahead.
Both out of the law of Moses.
Both out of what?
The law of Moses, and out of the prophets, from the morning till evening.
So he had prophecy. So he probably went to places like Deuteronomy 18 to show him that Yahushua was coming. He probably went into Isaiah to 53 to show him what it was. He probably went into 61. He probably went into all these different places showing what, giving them prophetic examples of this is what this is. You know what I'm saying? So he went from Moses to the prophets trying to explain this to the people. Now watch this. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And some believed the things which were spoken, and some believed not.
Watch that. Did y'all hear that? Read that again.
Verse 24. And some believed the things which were spoken, and some believed not.
After going through all of this scholarly shit, because I'm willing to assume that Paul was a very eloquent speaker. I'm willing to assume that he spoke really, really well. All these letters that he wrote, I'm willing to assume that he knew his job, right? But even though he knew his job, and no matter how convincing a person is or how well they're spoken, some people are not going to get it. He said some believed it and some didn't. Read on.
Verse 25. And when they agreed not among themselves.
He said they what?
When they agreed not among themselves.
They didn't come to an agreement. Go ahead.
They departed. After that, Paul had spoken one word. Well spake the Holy Ghost of Esaias the prophet unto our fathers.
Now watch this. Now he's quoting, after not being able to get through to some of the men, now he's quoting a prophecy from Isaiah. Go ahead.
Saying, go unto his people and say, hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see and not perceive.
Some people, so this is a prophecy that Isaiah had. He said some of you people gonna hear it and it ain't gonna even click with you. Some of you people gonna see it and you ain't gonna even be able to understand it. You just not gonna get it. Go ahead.
Verse 27. For the heart of this people is waxed gross, and their ears are dull.
What are their ears?
Their ears are dull of hearing.
Some ears are gonna be dull of hearing, no matter how eloquent, no matter what precept you bring them. Some people, that happened with me, and I bring it up, but these are the only examples I have. That happened with my ex-wife and my children at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Their ears were dull, no matter what precept I brought, they couldn't hear it. Go ahead.
And their eyes have they closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. You see that? Because once they understand, or if they grew to understand or caught it, they would be healed. But guess what? They wasn't healed because they couldn't get it. This was prophesied that this would happen to some of our people. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm saying this because once we get a zeal in us and we start getting this walk, we start doing this walk and being in this truth and keeping these laws, we think that we can convince anybody, especially people close to us that we love, that they're going to get it. It's not for you to do that, right? It's just not for you to do it. It's not for everybody to get this. And that's going to be the hardest thing to accept in this truth. Mm-hmm. Some people are going to remain sick, right?
Some people are going the whole lot. It's gonna irk you. It's gonna make you feel bad. It's gonna make you feel all types of ways. You might not have the relationship. Y'all might part ways. Those things are going to happen, right? Now give me Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 4. And you're gonna read 4 and 5.
Reading 4 and 5.
Chapter 1, verse 4 and 5.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, starting at verse 4. All sinful nations.
So he's telling you how sinful our people are. This will let you know that some of them really won't get it. Go ahead.
A people laden with iniquity.
A people that's what?
Laden with iniquity.
A lot of our people are laden with sin. They have a lot of sins, and guess what? They love it. So they love it. Go ahead.
A seed of evildoers.
A seed of what?
Evildoers.
Sometimes, and you got to accept this, some of our people only know evil.
They come.
That's all they know.
They can.
Go ahead.
A seed of evildoers.
Now watch this.
Children that are corrupters.
Children that are what?
Corrupters.
A lot of people can only teach you things that are corrupt, and they do it with a joyful spirit, but they only know corruptness, and that's why it says people that are children that are corrupters, right? Go ahead.
They have forsaken the Lord Yahweh.
They want to live in the dark. They just want to live how they live, and they want you to let them alone. Go ahead.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
They're making the Father mad with their behavior. Go ahead.
They are gone away backward.
They've gone how?
Backward.
Some people live backwards. Some of our mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, they live backwards. They live in a backward state. You know that cousin you have that got everything, got a whole bunch of money, just got everything that you wanted in life. And he's just a corrupter. He's a seed of evildoer. And you're like, how does this dude get all these things? Because he's living his life. He's getting his heaven now, right? But we can't understand. We doing right and trying to keep the laws, and we struggling trying to live paycheck to paycheck. But you know, old Mookie over there, he got it going on. Mookie got it going on, man. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more.
These people going to revolt more and more. If you try to bring them the word, they're going to get more worse and more worse. Go ahead.
The whole head is sick.
Wait. The whole what?
Is sick.
Some of our people's their thinking routine or their thinking methods, their whole head is sick. Every thought is evil. So they're made for destruction. Go ahead.
The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint.
The whole heart what?
Faint.
So their whole mind, they can't even think right. I mean, they just don't have a right thought in their mind. And when they around you, you don't want to be around them that long. And guess what? They don't want to be around you
that long. Right.
Y'all both have that. That's the only thing y'all have in common.
That you ain't got to worry about it because they don't want to be around you. No longer you don't want to.
No longer you want to be around them. And this is this is how it is, you know. But this is how the Father separates the wheats and the tares and the goats and the lambs and the people that he foreknew, that he foreordained for this truth. It's just what it is. And in the separation, I'm telling y'all may not like it, but I'm telling y'all it's very necessary, right? Go to Luke chapter 4 and verse 22. It may not feel good in the beginning, but I promise you, it's gonna be for your good. It may not feel good, but it will be for your good, people.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 4 and verse 22. And all bear him witness and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, is not this Joseph's son?
This is people doubting Yahweh. This is people saying, because they knew him growing up, because they grew up with him, they said, man, this dude ain't nobody. This is just Joseph's son. And this is the savior of Mashiach Yahweh. But people that were close to him or knew of his family, they had no reverence for him. So they said, this is just Joseph's son. Read on.
Verse 23. And he said unto them, ye will surely say unto me this proverb, physician, heal thyself. Whatsoever we have heard done in Capernaum, do also here in thy country.
So you know what what he did was he looked into the future, and he seen the people who didn't have respect for him when he was up on that cross being crucified. They did mock and say, physician, if you really the son of Yahweh, get yourself down off that cross. physician, heal yourself. He knew this, so he said, "This is you're gonna mock me even then." Right? Go ahead.
Verse 24. And he said, verily, I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country.
People are too intimate with people who they knew and grew up with. It's hard for you to get a word to them. No prophet would be accepted around people that they grew up with. That's why it's so difficult to talk to some people when you find this truth. But go ahead.
But I tell you of a truth, many widows were in Israel in the days of Elias, when the heaven was shut up 3 years and 6 months, when great famines was throughout all the land.
So this is when the famine happened. It was 3 years and 3.5 years where the famine hit the land. Now watch this. Read on.
But unto none of them was Elias sent, save unto Sarepta, a city of Sidon, unto a woman that was a widow.
So everybody that was dealing with a famine, only one person out of all these people in the city. Now, we don't know the number of the people, but we know it was a whole bunch of people. One person Elias was sent for out of all those people. That's how this truth is going to work. You may be the only one in your family getting that understanding or truly keeping the laws or keeping the laws until the end, right? Go ahead.
Verse 27. And many lepers were in Israel in the time of Elias, the prophet, and none of them was clean, saving Naaman the Syrian.
So all the lepers, out of all the people that was sick, and everybody that was sick from leprosy at that time, that was Israelites, only one of them got cleaned up. Only one of them found what we would call righteousness, salvation, or understood the word. So we have a very, very small margin of people who are going to understand certain things. So don't feel like, this is hopeless, or it's, you're supposed to just take what you can get. If somebody hears you and they take it, that's fine. We go out and we pass flyers out every single week. A whole bunch. I'm talking about thousands. I ain't got one phone call back. My phone number is on each and every one of those flyers. We probably gave out over 1,000 flyers.
I believe.
I haven't gotten that one phone call. Sure. And I always tell people, hey man, if you have questions about scriptures, if you confused about something, if you just want to ask questions or just want some clarity, call me, man. I'm available. I'm here. Well, no, I don't want to bother you. Bro, you ain't bothering me. Just call me. I do it all the time. I ain't got one phone call. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Go now. Watch this. Now go to Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Let me show you why I haven't got that phone call.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat.
So it's wide. The destruction gate is it's crowded in there. It's a crowded group of people going to the way of destruction. It's so many that people trying to get in, they trying to buy tickets to the gate that's to destruction. But watch this, read.
Verse 14. Because straight is the gate.
What is the way?
Straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
There are a few people that's gonna find this truth. There are a few people gonna stay in this truth. It's a very narrow gate, and I don't want everybody thinking, since I got it, how come they couldn't get it? It's what it is. It's a very narrow way, y'all. And we have to realize that we have to come to the understanding of how narrow this gate is. I talk to my family all the time, and man, if it ever was a family that I would say love each other, my family we've always had our problems and our differences, but my family was always very loving towards each other. We're one of those families that talk rough to each other, but it's always in love. It's always like real, that closeness. And when we get emotional, the other person understands it's because he feels or she feels that love for that person. So I've been able to talk to people, but I still ain't got, they gonna be how they gonna be, It's what it is. And you guys gotta grow to accept that, right? You got anything, King?
I was just gonna say that word straight is going into it's breaking down how we understand the word straight to be straight, and yeah, it means that, but what it means is it's straight, it's narrow, and it's kind of like there's two big bodies of water on both sides. So if you don't stay on this path, it's talking about oceans of water on both sides of you. So it's talking about when it's talking about you going through that straight narrow path, you got to stay on it, because the slightest step you falling into the ocean, in which you can't swim that. You know what I mean?
You can't swim that.
So he's saying you'll be overcome. You don't stay on a straight and narrow path, you'll be overcome with those waters.
Yes,
is what it's talking about.
That's a perfect description, King. That's perfect. Go to Matthew chapter 13, verse 47. And this kind of goes with what you were saying, because it talks about water. Did I get it right? 13 and 47. Yep. You in the spirit, King.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 47. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the deep sea, into the sea, and gathered of every kind.
So the kingdom of heaven is like a net that's cast into the sea. Now watch this. Read on.
Which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into the vessels, but cast the bad away.
So once it's like a net, the kingdom of heaven is like a net, and he's gonna pull everything in at the end, and he's gonna gather the good with the bad, but he's gonna cast the bad away. Watch this. Read on.
49. So shall it be at the end of the world.
So shall it be where?
So shall it be at the end of the world.
This is a parable explaining how he's gonna separate us at the end of the world. Go ahead.
The angel shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just.
So he's going to take the wicked away from the just, right? Go ahead.
And shall cast them into the furnace of fire.
He's going to burn the wicked. They're going to have eternal damnation. Go ahead.
There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
There shall be what?
Wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Man, he said this is not going to be something pleasant. This is not going to be something you're going to want. This is going to be something it's going to be wailing and gnashing of teeth. They're going to separate them, right? Go ahead. You think I should read the rest?
You want me to read on?
Well, I think that's good enough, but I just want to make sure we had the correct context on everything.
Yes.
Yeah. But that right there is what I'm talking about. We have to be very mindful of these things. Now watch this. Go to Matthew 23 and 28. We got to be mindful of it.
23 and 28?
Yeah, Matthew 23 and 28.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23 and verse 28.
Watch this.
Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you're full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
So a lot of times, a lot of people that are in a walk that's not doing everything they should be, we can appear outwardly righteous unto man, but then we have to all that are in this walk that are doing it continue to work on ourselves. Just like I told you, the little situation at the barbershop, I'm starting to handle things a little bit better. You want to start to improve yourself, because you don't want to be inwardly still have things that you have issues with, but outwardly present yourself as, you know what I'm saying, everything right. You want to be a good example to your brothers and sisters that are watching you. I want to be a good example for my brother. I don't want to be, messing up because he may need some help, and I got to be strong so I can help my brother or help my other brothers and sisters that need it. Go ahead.
Verse 28 from the top. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you're full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
Read on.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous.
So he said, woe, destruction unto you, scribes and Pharisees, because you build the tombs of the prophets, but he says, and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, meaning you're killing the righteous. You're knocking them out. You're killing them. You're taking away from them, right? And it says you're guarding the what did it say?
Garnishing.
You're garnishing the sepulchres of the righteous. And he said, what he said about the tombs of the prophets? He says, because ye build the tombs of the prophets, you're building them up, but guess what? Read on, because I want him to hear this.
Verse 30. And say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets.
But guess what? Y'all would have been those people. Those are the very people that claimed that they wouldn't have had took part in killing the prophets, or the very people that probably reincarnated the ones who killed the prophets. Go ahead.
Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets.
You see that? So Christ said, you are the ones who killed the prophets. But a person who's full of themselves or full of pride, don't want to take responsibility, don't want to improve themselves, not interested in any type of self-improvement, those are the ones who you can't convince of anything. Those are the ones who got that veil over their eyes, they just can't see it. And some of these people have a lot of knowledge, but they just don't have that the Most High hadn't turned that light on in their mind to where they can see themselves to improve. You see?
Try to get some?
Go ahead.
Read 32 for me.
Verse 32. This is Matthew chapter 23 and verse 32. It says, fill ye up then the measure of your fathers.
So he said, right in the previous verse, he said that, you know what, you are the people who murdered the prophets. The previous verse before that said, you know what? He said, you built the tombs of the prophets and garnish. Garnish means to decorate.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you get your plate and they got the little green thing, the pretty stuff on there to make your plate look pretty.
Make it look nice.
That's garnish, right? So he's saying you built these tombs for the prophets and you decorate all this stuff for the righteous. And you also say down to verse 30, he said, y'all say that y'all wouldn't have been the people who did that. But then he hits them and tells them straightforward, for sure you are
those people.
For sure you are those people. So that's why he says, so you know what? Because you are those and you don't want to hear this, you don't want to take it, full up then the measure of your father, however much sin your fathers did and whatever their judgment and punishment shall be. Go ahead, you fill it up for yourself too.
Yep.
Read on, watch.
Verse 33, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers.
So when he call you a serpent, what is a serpent? A serpent is a snake.
Mm-hmm.
But see, it's all kind of snakes, right? It's the snake that wraps around a constrictor and they squeeze you to death.
Right.
But then he clarifies and makes sure you understand what kind of snake you are.
Yep.
He says, ye what?
Ye generation of vipers.
See, you a viper.
They got
vipers
poison.
They have poison. Where the poison come out of though?
It come out of their
mouth.
Yep.
So the very thing that they teach, the very thing that they speak, the very doctrine that they give, what you say, some people, they whole doctrine is only wicked because that's all they can give.
Yep.
That's a generation of viper.
Yep.
Right? Because everything they speak and everything they teach you is poisonous and only destroys, right?
Wow.
Vipers, when they bite you, it doesn't go in and destroy, it destroys you immediately on contact. It begins to rot out the skin and the muscle tissue and stuff. So as soon as you hear this and you take it in, it's destroying you, right? Wow. It's a viper. Go ahead, read on.
How can ye escape the damnation of hell?
Man, how are you going to escape that with the things y'all talking about? Read.
Wow.
Watch. Now this is what my brother is saying.
Verse 34. Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets.
I sent you prophets. I gave you my word. And then every Saturday, y'all can drive down the street and see 7,000 camps out there. You ain't got to come to this one, but it's one out there for you.
Yep.
You ain't got to hear it from him. You ain't got to hear it from me. Somebody out here got this word. It ain't too far off from what we are already talking about.
That's right.
Right? So he said, I sent you prophets. Read.
And wise men. And scribes.
Read.
And some of them ye shall kill
and
crucify.
Read.
And some of them shall ye scourge.
Meaning you gonna beat the hell out of them. Read.
In your synagogues.
In your churches, in your religious system. Read.
And persecute them from city to city.
And what they do to the children of Israel, it don't matter what camp it is. Yep. Y'all a hate group, y'all a cult, y'all this, y'all that. How often have you heard that you're a Sadducee or a Pharisee?
I have heard it.
You're going to hear that a lot. In spite of the fact that we're like, hold up now.
Right.
We following Christ. Let me show you what Christ said.
Right.
Even though we're doing that, now y'all Pharisees, y'all Sadducees. Like what? Right. Go ahead.
Verse 35. That
we 35. Go ahead.
That upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth.
So he said, all the righteous prophets, all the messengers I sent you, all the stop signs, the street signs I sent you, all my children I put out there for you to listen to.
Yep.
You know what? That blood, it's on your hand now. Read.
Yep. From the blood of righteous Abel.
So all the way back to Genesis, way back early in the book. Go ahead.
Unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias.
And so now we're getting all the way to the end of the Old Testament. So you got all these books that's in there.
Yep.
All these prophets have been killed and have been persecuted, have been beat, mistreated, and slandered. Yep. Right? Read.
Whom ye slew between the temple and the altar.
And now he pointing out one particular one who we killed at the altar in the temple. Man. Right? Read.
Verse 36. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation.
So this is simple and plain. He's saying, because y'all don't want to, man, this lesson that my brother giving is right and exact, because he's saying, man, all this y'all don't want to hear. I didn't give you the book. I didn't give you these brothers. I didn't give you these people. I didn't give you this. I didn't put people in front of you. 2025. I got people in front of you right now.
Yep.
Y'all don't want to hear them. So you don't want to hear it? You want to say they Sadducees and Pharisees? You want to chase them out of town and tell them they don't need to be here? You don't want to. They used to be the homie, and now you don't know them?
You used to be the homie, now
you don't know. Hey, all right. That blood gonna be on your hands.
That's right.
That's all I wanted.
No, that's right and exact. And that's the thing. We have to remember to stay diligent in this walk. And Christ was showing us this. That's why all these things were left for us to have this understanding. That's why we have to take this very seriously when we do this. Go to Sirach chapter 27 and verse 1. This is something very serious. And I think sometimes we don't take it seriously enough. You know what I'm saying? Now watch this. This is, and I want y'all to understand, we get this knowledge in the book of Sirach because Christ himself also, you know what I'm saying, had this knowledge too. Read on.
The book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 1. Many have sinned for a small matter.
Sometimes little stuff will make you sin because of your own selfishness. Go ahead.
And he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away.
So this is what the Sadducees and Pharisees was doing. They seek for abundance, so they turn their eyes away because Yahushua wasn't offering them nothing that they found appealing. That's why they turned their eyes away. Go ahead.
As a nail stick fast between the joinings of the stones, so does sin stick close between buying and selling.
Sometimes you sinning, and they were sinning, and they didn't even, I don't think they even realized that they were sinning in the beginning. They just were scoffing, and they just didn't understand and didn't want to understand. And sometimes we're guilty of the same things. But this is what we have to do to avoid those sins. Read.
Verse 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently.
Hold himself what?
Diligently in the fear of the Lord, Yahweh, his house shall soon be overthrown.
There you have it. You have to hold yourself diligently in the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. If you don't, your house will be overthrown. You'll end up wanting. You'll end up on the left side of things rather than on the right side of things before you know it. Because before Yahushua showed up, and I want y'all to think about this, before Yahushua hit the scene, all the Pharisees thought they was on the right side of things. All of them thought that, I mean, it don't get no better than this. I dress good every day. I got money. I got respect. Everybody respect me. Then Yahushua hits the scene, right? And then he's teaching them things that they probably didn't know or didn't want to hear. And then they find themselves on the wrong side of the situation, right? And that's how quickly it can happen. That's how these things can go down. You got nope. And then watch this. We're almost done. I want you to go to Proverbs 14 and 14. The book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 14. I love Proverbs. And y'all got to remember, these Proverbs are what helps you to grow in your wisdom. You got to chew on this information so that your wisdom can grow. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 14. The backslider in heart. The backslider in heart.
When you backsliding in your mind, meaning you're not thinking about godly thoughts, you just backsliding, you just want how you want it. right? Go ahead.
The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways.
So you're gonna be filled with those ways. When you got pernicious ways or ways to be deceitful, you're gonna be filled with your own ways. Go ahead.
And a good man shall be satisfied from himself.
Watch this. When it says a good man shall be satisfied from himself, if listen, you have to be willing to change from yourself. You're gonna be satisfied to change away from how you originally were. I cannot make it. He can't make it being Rick Foley into the kingdom. I can't make it being Richard Cornett into the kingdom. A good man will be satisfied from himself. Just like when Paul said, I die daily, you got to move from your original self and be something better, be something different. I didn't mean to call you government.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
But we both are not those people though. We have to grow from those people. Read that part again.
Proverbs 14, verse 14. The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways, and a good man shall be satisfied from himself.
He'll be satisfied from himself. Read on.
The simple believeth every word.
If you're not prudent and you don't like to read, you don't like to study, you're gonna believe every little word. But go ahead.
But the prudent man looketh well to his going.
But a prudent man is gonna look well to how he's going, how he's receiving stuff, how things are happening. A prudent man is gonna look well to his goings. And watch this. Read the next verse.
Verse 16. A wise man feareth.
A wise man what?
A wise man feareth.
He's gonna look well to his way. He's gonna have respect. He's gonna pay attention. He's gonna fear it. Go ahead.
And departeth from evil. But the fool rageth and is confident.
So that fool, and I know you've all seen a fool that rage and is confident and think he knows something that he really don't. And you look at him and say, this dude is an idiot. He don't know anything, but he believes that he knows what he knows. He's confident in his own way. He don't want to take your advice, and he knows whatever it is. You may be telling him right, but whatever it is, it's not what you're selling. It ain't what you selling. It's anything but what you selling, because you're the one who's selling it. That's why I don't want it. Right? I got one more. I got Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 15.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 15. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes.
Every fool is right in his own eyes. Everybody can make themselves right. Go ahead.
But he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise.
He that what?
Hearkeneth unto counsel is wise.
You shouldn't be hard to counsel. If you got something going on, you should not be hard to talk to. If every time somebody tells you something and you have something to say back in rebuttal to that, you need to check yourself. And that's with any situation. You should check you, even if you don't like what's being said, you should at least be humble enough to accept the information and chew on it or think on the information. If you have something to say back to everybody, it's the problem really is you. And I know many people, I know a man right now, I ain't gonna say no names though. He old man, so it's almost, but every time you say something to this old man, he got something to say back, whether he know the situation or don't know the situation. And sometimes there are old fools that grow old and become old foolish men and have no understanding and grow old and like they say, he just who he is. You got to accept him for who he is. You know, I don't want to be that. You know Jimmy. You know how Jimmy is.
He is.
Jimmy just Jimmy. Y'all don't want to be that person. You want to.
Sometimes our elders just go ahead and call it. Well, he a damn fool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what we're doing when we do that kind of stuff is we're giving room for that foolishness. It's almost like we're accepting it. Like, you know what? Well, because of you, we'll accept your foolishness.
Right.
When no, we got to call it out.
You got to call it.
Anybody saying you got to just beat a dead horse, but you got to call it out.
Right.
We got to tell the truth.
Exactly. And that's all I got. I did want to pull one in Job. One of the old men are not always wise.
You got it? You want me to go there?
Go there.
Where is it?
Oh, and I don't know if I can even find it. I just thought about it.
Old men are not always wise.
Yeah. Something like old men are not always wise, something like that. But that's pretty much, I don't think it's in the 30s.
Job 32:9.
I think that's it.
Great men are not always wise.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get that. Job 32.
Go to Job chapter 32 and verse 9.
This is the book of Job, chapter 32 and verse 9. Great men are not always
A
wise.
great man isn't always wise. Sometimes you have foolish old men. Go ahead.
Neither do the aged men, neither do the aged understand judgment.
Every person that's aged, just because they got age on them, every person with age on them don't understand judgment.
They can't.
And I exude that every day. And I try to, because I deal with a lot of people every day, and I see it all the time. And I see young men that are wise, but I also see old men that are foolish.
They're fools. You see young wise men and
I
old
see
foolish men.
Foolish men. And we, for us to heal and to continue to heal, we got to stay out of that arena. We got to stay out of being putting ourselves into being that person. Right? And that's all I got. I hope you guys got some good precepts. I hope you guys got a little bit of understanding from the class. I hope is that Israel be saved. I hope is that our people will be saved, and that we can seal the elect, and we get this truth to the four corners of the earth. And with that, we say shalom. Shalom, family.